this is Navid. You're watching Oud for Guitarists. Today I want to show you the high F tuning or Fa tuning on the Oud. I want to talk about who uses it and especially why I hate it. I've been experimenting with this tuning off and on for years, and every time that I try it out, I always go back to my old tuning. Talk about who uses this tuning, what are the features, what you get out of this tuning, and of course, then why I don't use it. And so, yeah, this is what it sounds like. You've got low F here, you've got A here, you've got D, you've got G, you've got C, and then you've got high F on top. Now, you'll notice already that this is just like the tuning that I use, except that I don't have the bass string. So the bass string is taken out, strings are shifted one space over onto this side. So my F string used to be here, now my F string is here. Everything's shifted over so that there's space here for this high F string. So I didn't have a high F string set. So what I did was I reused my D'Addario Arabic set. This is the same strings except for the low bass string. I just changed the positions of where they are. And then I went to the fishing store and picked up some fluorocarbon fishing line. This is 0.47 millimeters in diameter. So that's what I'm using for the high F string. They work great. The only thing that I don't recommend usually for strings is mixing up nylon and fluorocarbon because they give a bit of a slightly different tone. This is what it sounds like. So this is the high F tuning. Let's talk about who uses it. There are a few notable players that use this tuning. Nasser Shama, Rahim Al-Haj, both are Iraqi. And then there's my favorite, Said Shrabi from Morocco, he's passed on. So what is special about this tuning? It extends the range and makes it very easy to reach the higher notes. Like you can reach Fa, Sol, La, Si, Do. And so you can play all the way down from F2 all the way up to F5. So just a little bit of background. Historically, we don't really know what frequency was used for the strings of the oud. We do know how the oud was tuned, that it was tuned in fourths. The ancient oud described by Al-Farabi, the Persian philosopher, he described his oud as being 4 courses. Later, a 5th course was added. And the old style tuning of these 5 courses would have been C, G, D, A, and G. This is a great tuning. So later on, a 6th string was added. I don't know too much about the history of where the high F tuning came from, but nevertheless, eventually this tuning was also used, probably to extend the range. Some people argue that the pitch of the oud was actually higher in the past. We don't really know for sure. I think there's a bit of debate about that. What we have now are these 2 tunings. We have Do to Do, or C to C, and we have Fa to Fa, F to F tuning. Now, some Iraqi players also tune the A string to a C, and if you compare the intervals between the tuning C, G, A, D, G, C, low to high, to F, C, D, G, C, F, and these are exactly the same tunings basically, except that they're transposed. So everything is tuned a whole 4th higher. Why do I hate this tuning? Well, the warmth of the bass is gone. The next reason is that I'm very used to the comfort of having the low G on this course, not way over here. This makes it a little bit awkward and hard to reach the notes there. So I don't really like it very much. It's nice to have the bass string here, because you don't use the bass string a lot. You use it to support your upper notes and the melodies that you're playing. Because the warmth of the bass is gone, I feel like the instrument just kind of sounds weak. It forces you to kind of change some of the keys. It's more comfortable to play, for example, Maqam Rast on F instead of C. Which works really well for this tuning. It's great. But I don't really like it. Most music that you can play on the oud, 95% of it, all you need is a 5-course oud. And you can play everything on it. So you don't really need the high F string. If you want to play the notes up there, you can play it on the high C string. Where are you ever going to use these notes? It doesn't really sound like an oud anymore. So I don't really like the sound. It's a little bit harsh and loses the warmth and that comfortable soothingness. The oud sound that I fell in love with was Hamza al-Din's oud playing. And of course he tunes his oud lower, and he's got that bass string. And it's really warm. Some of the first oud music that I listened to was oud by Hossein Behrzinia, the Persian oudist, on his Barbat. And so his range was just 5 courses, the basic 5 courses. So I think the sound is affected quite a lot. And so this is the definition of oud sound for me. But I want to show you a little example of what you can do with the 2 tunings. So for example, I'll show you this song by Said Shreibi, this tune called Longa Nekriz. Longa Nekriz is on F, of course, because he's in the high F tuning, so he plays everything here. So here, this is where I would play it differently. I would play it up here, the F, but here he plays it with his high F string. So that's what you can do. I'm not really used to playing this song in this tuning. You can play that much easier than the way I play it on my other oud. So let me show you the difference of sound. Now it's not really fair to compare this oud and the other one, because the price point is completely different. This is so yeah, so this is do to do. You got low do, you got your high C here. So this is how I would play it on this oud tuning. So that's how I would play it here. You know, I have to go up all the way here. And then jump down. So with the high F tuning, you don't have to do that. What you have available here is that you can go right up here. So it's very different. You have a different range. I don't really like it that much. Never did. So that's why I don't like the high F tuning, and that's why I use the tuning that I generally use in the foundation program. I think this tuning is much easier to start out on, and I use it in the foundation program because you can play 95% of all oud music out there, all Middle Eastern music out there with this tuning. And so it's very versatile. I think it's the best tuning for beginners anyway. This month I'm actually going to be doing a cool promo on the foundation program. So the foundation program takes you from A to Z. You'll learn all the foundational technique that you need to learn in order to play 95% of oud music out there. The foundation program starts you off very basic and takes you into an upper intermediate level. And we've got 4 levels of the foundation program. So foundation 1, 2, 3, 4. And you learn a lot. It's like over a year's worth of oud lessons. Now I also have something else for you. If you're starting out to learn how to play the oud, I've got a free oud beginners email course that you can sign up for. The link is in the description below. So sign up for that so that you can start learning the oud today. It takes you through some basic exercises on the oud. And if you follow that email course, that's worth about a month of oud lessons. So it's a huge deal to sign up for that email course and get going on it. Then in a couple weeks, you'll hear about the promo from me. I'll email you and let you know about the deal that I have going on for the foundation program so that you can really start strong on the oud and head forward. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.